entrepreneurship. This is one of the dimensions of entrepreneurship. Okay, now let us quickly
Hello.
understand that when, yeah. Now let us quickly understand that when we talk about this term intrapreneur, then what does it mean? Look, as the name itself says, intrapreneur. So intra means somebody who is inside the organization. Okay, so basically we call him a person who is inside the organization, generally within a large firm, and he uses his entrepreneur skills and indulges in risk to undertake certain activities within the firm itself. Okay. So, look, if we speak simply, these are people in the organization who are handled a unique idea or maybe a unique project, and they are instructed to develop the project like an entrepreneur would. Okay, so like you are given the total authority that this is your project, this is your idea, you have to take it forward, you are the boss, you have the authority, you have the control, just go forward with it. Okay, so look, an entrepreneur will have all the resources, all the capabilities at his disposal very, very easily, which an entrepreneur might or might not have. Why? Because over here the company is already providing you everything. The company has given you a project, and the company itself is asking you that you work for us for this concept or for this idea. Fine. So, look, if we basically compare it with entrepreneurs, then their focus varies. Now, look, how does the focus varies? Because look, when you're talking about an entrepreneur has to start from scratch. Okay, he has to build everything, he has to arrange everything. But in case of an intrapreneur, he doesn't have to start scratch. He is basically an employee of the company who has been given this task of doing the entrepreneurship thing in the enterprise. Okay, so he doesn't have to basically start from scratch. Okay, and yeah, like if you talk about the rewards and the gains also, then obviously for entrepreneur all the rewards and the risk belong to him. But in case of an entrepreneur, the rewards and risk, they belong to the business organization, not to him. Why? Because he's working just like an employee. Okay, but what is the fundamental difference? Like you must be getting confused over here कि employee तो हो गया organization का. ऐसा नहीं है कि employee है organization का, हमने उसको एक नया idea दिया, एक नया concept दिया है. This is something which he has not worked upon. Okay, so like for example, we are already into manufacturing of let us say textiles. Okay, and as we can see that the entire education industry, online education industry, is on a boom, and we tell them that now it is up to you, we are making you the head, we have to come up with this new project, we want to launch an online education portal, now you are responsible for it. Now you see that how are you going to take this thing forward. Fine. So it's like that. So with like being within a company, you are able to explore and make a company of your own. So it's like that. Fine. Now okay. uh, uh, now look, another thing is that entrepreneurs, they always remain hidden and unrecognized. Why? Because what is often displayed is the corporate that is displayed. Obviously, the entrepreneur will never get that limelight. Like it generally happens with other entrepreneurs. Like if you talk about Flipkart, so Bunny Bhatia, he got all the limelight and everything. For like Amazon, there was Jeff Bezos. Okay, but in case of an entrepreneur, an entrepreneur will never get the highlight. Okay, so now let us just quickly come to one of the definitions of entrepreneur. Don't worry, I will share the entire material with you. Okay, so let us pick the one which is given by American Heritage Dictionary. Okay, it says an entrepreneur means a person within a large corporation. तो क्या है वो एक अलग से बंदा नहीं है. He is a person within a company itself, within a large corporation, who has taken direct responsibility. He has the direct responsibility for doing what? For converting an idea into a finished product through assertive risk taking and innovation. So like I already told you that he is the one who has been given the responsibility, he has been given the resources, he has to innovate, he has to come up with the ideas, he has to turn that idea basically into something concrete, and he has to give it to his company. Fine. So these are those persons. Fine. Now, let us just quickly come to this term which is called as innerpreneur. Okay. Now, look, we should not confuse these two terms. An entrepreneur is not an innerpreneur. Okay, an innerpreneur is a person who aims at personal fulfillment more than economic gains when creating a business. Okay, so there is a person called as innerpreneur. So, an innerpreneur is basically a person who is an entrepreneur, but his more focus is on personal fulfillment, like he's achieving for let us say self-welfare of the society or any such gain, but his main goal is not economic gain. फाइन, तो ऐसे बंदे को हम इनरप्रेन्योर कहते हैं, बट हाँ इंट्राप्रेन्योर और इनरप्रेन्योर को हम लोग कंफ्यूज नहीं करेंगे. फाइन. नाउ let us just come to this last paragraph. This is also talking something important. It says an entrepreneur possesses the freedom and autonomy for professional growth. बेटा ऐसा नहीं है हमने एंटरप्रेन्योर को सारी की सारी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी दे दी और उसको कोई अथॉरिटी या फ्रीडम नहीं दी. ओके, he has the freedom, he has the autonomy to go as per how he wants to go. An entrepreneur has the independence to analyze and understand trends which are necessary for planning the company's future. They will do their findings, and they will work on the project, and they will find out the best method, or the best way to come out with a business. Fine. Now, there is this history of the term entrepreneur. I don't think this is important. Let us just skip it and let us come to the types of entrepreneurs. Okay, entrepreneurs. So, look, there are certain types of entrepreneurs that we have. One is called as the employee entrepreneur. Now, look at employee entrepreneur. It basically refers to employee initiatives in the organization to do something new without being asked to do so. Okay, so an employee entrepreneur is someone who focuses a lot on innovation and creativity, and he will transform that idea into a profitable venture while operating within the organizational environment. So look, we all have come across such type of people in the organization जो बिना पूछे ना अपने आप ही ideas देते हैं. They're always overflowing with ideas. Okay, and some people, they have that zeal in them, they have that creativity, creative bent of mind, that whenever the company is going to ask them that shall we do it, they somehow they are going to come up with a strangely unique idea, a new way of doing it. Why? Because it's like it's the way they are. Okay, तो उनको बोलने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती है, उनको काम देने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती कि नहीं आप ये करो, वो अपने आप they take responsibility on their own, they take initiative on their own, and they try to bring something new into the organization. Fine. Now, look, employees such as marketing executives or those who are engaged with a special project in a larger firm are encouraged to behave as entrepreneurs. Okay, अब देखो generally हम employees कौन से employees को हम लोग entrepreneurs बनाते हैं, या तो जो marketing में लगे होते हैं, because look, marketing is something which needs very unique idea, so we give them a lot of freedom. Or somebody who is engaged on a special project, a project which is not common to the organization, which is something uncommon. Okay, तो ऐसे लोगों को हम ये freedom देते हैं, ये discretion देते हैं. Fine. Now the next one is the creator entrepreneur. Now look, the creator entrepreneur are basically these are persons who have innovative ideas. Okay, they are into the idea generation phase. They see a lot of possibilities. They are always high on the learning curve. They want to do something better. However, the downside is that they can't work in a structured environment. Okay, so if we tell them that that you have to do this job, you're in the marketing department, and you have to perform this job like this, you do this for us like that. So these they are those persons who require more autonomy on their part. Employee entrepreneur क्या है, वो अपना इनिशिएटिव ले रहा है, बट वो कंपनी के गोल्स में, उसके रूल्स एंड बाउंड्रीज में वो आराम से ही इज कंफर्टेबल फंक्शनिंग अंडर देम. ओके, he is not going to basically say that why am I being dominated by someone else. But on the other hand, a creator entrepreneur is somebody he gets bored very very easily. So today, let us say he is working on something new in the HR area. So the next day he is going to say that let us say after a few months he is going to say, now I am bored out of it, now please give me something new. Okay, so these are those sort of employees, who always want something or the other new to keep on happening, keep on happening, keep on happening. So these are those type of people. Okay, after that you have these doers entrepreneurs. Okay, now look, these doers entrepreneurs are basically those type of entrepreneurs who actually are not only into thinking but they're actually into doing of the work. Okay, so they will not generate as much ideas, but they will, once the idea is generated, they will think on completing that idea. Okay, giving it a structure, giving it a shape, and bringing that thing out in the market. Okay, so these are those people. And these are those people, basically these are risk bearers. They are not afraid to take up any authority or to take up any challenge. And they know that how the work has to be done, या फिर अगर वर्क करवाना है तो वो कैसे करवाना चाहिए. ठीक है, so they are very very task oriented and they are dedicated to their work, but as such they don't create any new idea. Okay, they are good at doing the work. Then you have implementers, entrepreneurs. Look, implementers, entrepreneurs are basically those individuals who make things happen. Okay, so they are basically involved in the execution phase. अब देखो, एक चीज होता है कि आइडिया भी आ गया, काम भी कोई कर रहा है, बट एक आपको एक बॉस चाहिए होता है ना, जो पूरा प्लानिंग करेगा और सब काम करवाएगा. वो खुद कुछ नहीं करेगा, बट ही विल बी seeing that yeah, everything is happening as per say, what how it should happen. सो ये एक इस तरह के भी इंटरप्रेन्योर्स होते हैं, तो इनको हम इम्प्लीमेंटर्स इंटरप्रेन्योर्स कहते हैं. Fine. Now let us quickly come to the features of entrepreneurship. Look, an entrepreneur thinks and responds like an entrepreneur and looks for opportunities that will result in profit. तो देखो, इनका जो bent of mind है, that is always the same. Okay, तो जैसे एक entrepreneur respond करेगा opportunity को, वैसे ही एक intrapreneur भी respond करेगा opportunity को. Okay, entrepreneurship is unique and novel way of making organizations more and more profitable. Now, these days, you will see that a lot of organizations are encouraging, people to come up with new thoughts. They want entrepreneurs within their own organization. Why? Because today, we are living in a world which is like everything is changing every second. Okay, so if you don't come up with something new, what is going to happen is that you are going to get out of the market, or you might not be able to get that many profits. So अगर अगर आपको अपनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को हमेशा एक ग्रोथ ट्रैजेक्टरी में रखना है एंड यू हैव टू हैव प्रॉफिट्स ऑल द टाइम, देन यू शुड ऑलवेज encourage entrepreneurship in your organization. Okay, under this, obviously, employees who have imaginative thoughts are encouraged. And it is again an important tool for the organization to improve their performance and to have continuous progress. Okay, now let us just quickly I will not talk about all the companies, but let us talk about one or two. Okay, so look, there are some of the companies, as you can see, that who encourage entrepreneurship within their firm. So there are companies like Xerox, Virgin, Siemens, and Microsoft who are looking for unique solution to their problems, and they encourage a lot of these entrepreneurship activities within their own organizations. Okay, now, look, again, there is this example of 3M. This 3M company has become very popular, especially with the coming up of coronavirus. We all know, they have um, uh, their own softwares and own equipments for that. So sometimes, let's just read out this example. It says, sometimes entrepreneurship happens by accident. Dr. Spencer Silver, a scientist at 3M, was attempting to create an extremely strong adhesive to support an aerospace technology. Instead, he accidentally created a light adhesive that stuck to surfaces but did not leave a nasty residue. Instead of throwing away this idea, as it did not solve the problem at hand, he found a use for it. After, okay, this has got cut. Okay, just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. I will share the better image with you as well. But just to continue the example, just give me 1 minute. Yeah. So look, after many years of persistence in spreading the word, it finally clicked and post-it notes were born. तो बेटा आपने देखा है वो स्टिकी नोट्स आते हैं जो हम लोग अपने फ्रिज पे अपने अलमारियों के ऊपर लगाते हैं, ठीक है। और आपने देखा होगा कि 3M की जो बहुत सारी टेप्स आती हैं, जब चोट लग जाती है तो हम एक बैंडेज टाइप लगाते हैं, तो वो भी 3M कंपनी की आती है. So it was basically the tape and everything, and those sticky notes, they were developed because of this employee, Dr. Spencer Silver, जो कि साइंटिस्ट था वहां पे और जो एक्सपेरिमेंट कर रहा था और जिसने ये नया आइडिया निकाला, ठीक है। बेटा इसके अलावा सिमिलरली हम लोग बहुत पॉपुलरली बात करते हैं अबाउट मिस्टर केन. ओके, basically he was in Sony corporation, okay, and he came up with the idea of Nintendo. So you all know that Sony PlayStation thing. तो वो जो पूरा सोनी का प्ले स्टेशन था वो केन ये कुट्रोगी ने ही बनाया था, एंड ही वाज एन एम्प्लॉय ऑफ दिस सोनी कॉर्पोरेशन इटसेल्फ. ओके, नाउ दैट इज इट आई थिंक, ठीक है. एग्जांपल्स बाकी आप अपने आप देख लेना, देयर इज नो एंड टू इट. Now let us just quickly see the difference between entrepreneur and intrapreneur. Look, an entrepreneur will bear high level of risk, but an intrapreneur on the other side bears less risk. ये तो obvious सी बात है. entrepreneur कैपिटल भी खुद ही अरेंज कर रहा है, रिसोर्सेज भी खुद ही अरेंज कर रहा है. अगर बिजनेस डूब गया तो कल को उसके पास तो कुछ नहीं रहेगा. But an entrepreneur, he's just working for a salary inside the organization. Even if the idea doesn't work, ज्यादा से ज्यादा क्या होगा, उसको प्रमोशन नहीं मिलेगा, ओके, और ही माइट बी डिमोटेड और समथिंग लाइक दैट. बट उसको एज सच ये रिस्क नहीं है कि हाँ मेरा तो सब कुछ ही चला जाएगा. ओके, नाउ entrepreneur, he's also the owner of the organization. Over here obviously an entrepreneur is just an employee, he's not the owner. An entrepreneur has to organize funds. On the other hand, for entrepreneur, the funds are already arranged by the management. Okay, an entrepreneur creates a new enterprise. However, an entrepreneur works within an existing enterprise. तो कोई अलग से एंटरप्राइज नहीं बना रहे उनके काम करने के लिए, उसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के अंदर ही वो काम कर रहे हैं और अपना नए आइडियाज को शेप दे रहे हैं, ठीक है. They do not require clearance or proposal from someone. ठीक है, entrepreneur is obviously the boss, so whatever he says is done. But in case of entrepreneurship, whenever you take any major decision or a major proposal is to be made, then the management or owners, they have to approve it before you start to implement them. Fine. Okay. Now let us come to social entrepreneurship. बेटा social entrepreneurship कहो या फिर there is this one more topic, that creative response to society's problems. Okay. ये दोनों के दोनों टॉपिक आपके इसी के अंदर आते हैं. They both are covered under your social entrepreneurship. Fine. Just give me a minute. Now, look, if we talk about social entrepreneurship, this is basically to do with well-being of the society. Okay. तो अगर आप सोशल एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप का बात करो तो इंडिया के अंदर ये बहुत ज़्यादा इमर्जिंग कंसेप्ट है, क्योंकि जो हमारी गवर्नमेंट है ना, वो बहुत ज़्यादा लोगों के लिए कुछ बहुत सब्सटैंशियल नहीं कर पाती, ठीक है. तो चाहे आप कहीं भी कोई भी गवर्नमेंट इनिशिएटिव देख लो, कोई भी गवर्नमेंट इनिशिएटिव ना इतना सक्सेसफुल नहीं होता. बट अगर प्राइवेट प्लेयर्स आके वही सेम काम करते हैं ना एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप का, तो इट जनरली बिकम्स अ सक्सेस. सोशल एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप का मतलब अगर लोगों की भलाई के लिए काम करते हैं तो इट बिकम्स अ सक्सेस. So look, the government is very keen on promoting social entrepreneurship, okay, especially for causes like illiteracy, pollution, food, clothing, underprivileged. ठीक है, तो द गवर्नमेंट इज ऑलवेज इन फॉर इट. तो अगर आप बात करो, जैसे एक मुंबई शहर में एक एनजीओ है, एक नॉट प्रॉफिट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, उसने आज तक it has educated more than 2,50,000 children on a daily basis. मतलब वो 2.5 लाख बच्चों को फ्री में पढ़ाता है डेली बेसिस के ऊपर. Now can you imagine, like there are these kind of people who are working without any chaha for profit. They're just doing it for free. ओके, सो लुक, बेसिकली इनको ऐसा करने के लिए किसी ने बोला नहीं है, गवर्नमेंट ने नहीं कहा कि आप जाओ और ऐसा काम करो. दे डू इट ऑन देयर वॉलंटरी बेसिस. इट्स इनसाइड यू दैट यू वांट टू बी अ सोशल वर्कर and you want to pursue the path of social entrepreneurship. Fine. So social entrepreneurship refers to an innovative activity. Look, let us just do the definition first, and then I will make you understand it more. Look, social entrepreneurship basically refers to an innovative activity with a social objective in either the for-profit sector, such as in the social purpose commercial ventures, or in the not-profit sector or across sectors, such as hybrid structural forms which blend for profit and non-for-profit approaches. तो बेसिकली यहाँ पे ये क्या कह रहे हैं, ये कह रहे हैं कि सोशल एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप जो है, अगर इसका क्रक्स हम उठा के देखें, तो बेटा जरूरी नहीं है कि हमेशा ये हम लोग सिर्फ समाज सेवा के लिए ही करें। ठीक है, कई लोग सोशल एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के थ्रू पैसे भी कमाने की कोशिश करते हैं, और कई लोग ऐसे भी हैं जो सोशल एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप बस ऐसे ही करते हैं, यू नो, विदाउट थिंकिंग अबाउट एनी प्रॉफिट इन देयर माइंड। फाइन। सो बेसिकली अगर हम बात करें इसके कॉमन फॉर्म की बात करें, तो यू नो व्हेन वी अप्लाई आवर बिजनेस एक्सपर्टीज, ओके, व्हेन वी अप्लाई आवर न्यू आइडियाज and our market skills, you know, for solving society's problem, um, you know, in a non-profit sector, and you know, through innovative approaches, basically maybe to earn income or not to earn income, that depends. Okay. नाउ लुक बेसिकली यहाँ पे जब हम सोशल एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के बारे में बात करते हैं ना बेटा, तो पैसा कमाना नहीं कमाना सेकेंडरी है, बट वन थिंग इज वेरी वेरी प्राइमरी. व्हाट इज दैट प्राइमरी थिंग? दैट यू नो व्हेनेवर you know you are focusing on the social values, on creating social values, that means you know you want to create wealth for the society as a whole. Okay, so that is your prime motive when you are running this social entrepreneurship thing. Fine. नाउ अगेन लुक, सोशल एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप जो है आज सच उसका कोई लीगल जरूरी नहीं है कोई लीगल फॉर्म हो. ओके, एंड इट कैन बी परस्यूड बाय वेरियस व्हीकल्स. फॉर एग्जांपल, इट कुड बी इन द फॉर्म ऑफ अ नॉन प्रॉफिट थिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, इट कुड बी इन द फॉर्म ऑफ अ बिजनेस, या फिर आप गवर्नमेंट के साथ ही कोलैबोरेट करके अपना सोशल एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप कर सकते हो. ठीक है, तो बेसिकली यू नो द वेरियस कंपोनेंट्स ऑफ सोशल एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप हैव बीन शोन ओवर देयर. Look, companies, they are engaged into social entrepreneurship because of their CSR activities. What is the CSR? This is corporate social responsibility. So some companies which have a turnover and a profit, you know, above certain limit, they are it is mandatory for them to spend on CSR. That is corporate social responsibility. ठीक है, उनको सोसाइटी के लिए कुछ ना कुछ पैसा देना जरूरी है. फिर social entrepreneurship is obviously based on social values. It is aimed at solving social problems and issues. It requires a lot of leadership and organizational capital from the entrepreneur. Okay, they are basically torch bearers of social change. They ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ प्रॉब्लम्स पे फोकस करते हैं, बहुत बार चेंज जो हम सोसाइटी में लेके आना चाहते हैं, यू नो, सोशल चेंज के ऊपर भी वो लोग फोकस करते हैं. तो जैसे यू नो देयर इज दिस स्टिग्मा ऑन हैविंग अ गर्ल चाइल्ड. ओके, so if you are basically educating people about importance of having a girl child in your family, and you know why you should not abort a girl child, you are trying to bring that change in the society. So you know, again, you are into social entrepreneurship. Then there is this teamwork and HRD, obviously that is there with every entrepreneur. There has to be teamwork. Fine. Okay, now moving ahead, let us come to the meaning and the concept of social entrepreneurs. So basically, look, social entrepreneurs are individuals with innovative solution to society's most pressing problems. Okay, they are very ambitious and persistent. They tackle major social issues and offer new ideas for wide scale change. Okay, तो बेटा अगर आप इन लोगों के बारे में बात करो, तो ये बहुत एम्बिशियस होते हैं. दे आर वेरी वेरी परसिस्टेंट इन यू नो दे आर नॉट इजीली गोइंग टू एक्सेप्ट अ नो. And you know they will approach social problems, but you know they are going to bring new ideas when they are doing so. Okay, so these are those people who think that you know it is not only the responsibility of the government or the business to you know bring change in the society. They basically work for the society on their own. They have this inner drive within themselves that you know pushes them towards social entrepreneurship. Okay, so they are visionaries and ultimate realists concerned with the practical implementation of their vision. So look, obviously they are visionaries. ऐसा नहीं है that they have a short term goal in their mind. They are always a visionary. Visionary एक ऐसा बंदा है जिसका एक long term goal होता है. जैसे धीरू भाई अंबानी था, उन्होंने विजन देखा. क्या विजन देखा? पहले देखा कि इंडिया की नंबर 1 कंपनी बनेंगे. फिर देखा विजन की नहीं, हम विश्व की नंबर 1 कंपनी बनेंगे. ठीक है. तो इसी तरह से जो सोशल एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप है उसका हमेशा एक विजन होगा जो बहुत बड़ा होगा. ठीक है. तो इट वुड बी लाइक टू इरेडिकेट पॉवर्टी फ्रॉम द इंटायर इंडिया. Okay, to let us say to have no polio cases in India or across the entire world. So they are visionaries. They dream big. Okay, so basically, he's a person who will establish an entire organization with the main goal of solving social problems. I think this we have already done again and again. Okay, so I think that is it. Now we can basically move ahead and we can come to one of the formal definitions of social entrepreneurship. Okay, let us just come to this first one. Just read out this definition. Just read out this definition. So look, social entrepreneurship is nothing but he's a person who will pursue an innovative idea with the potential to solve a community problem. They are willing to take the risk and effort to create a positive change in society through their initiatives. Okay, so like I have already said, this is just a repetition of all that. Only they are people, they are having an aim of solving a problem which is related to the society, and they are willing to take risk and put in all their efforts for doing so. Fine. बाकी बेटा बहुत सारी definitions है. I will share, as I told you, I will share it with you. You can have a look. Whatever definition you think is nice, you can learn that. Now let us come to characteristics of social entrepreneurship. First is creativity. Now look over here, when we're talking about social entrepreneurship, it is not that you are seeing the problem in a very conventional or in a traditional way. Okay. You are seeing the problem in an innovative way, and you're trying to come up with a creative solution to that problem. Okay. So like look, they have given this example of Tata. Like आपने भी देखा होगा Tata टी का बहुत एक example आता है जिसके अंदर वो बोलते हैं that say no to corruption. Okay, but they have an entire ad and whereby they say, and they basically make an impact, trying to basically propagate this idea within the society that we should stop corruption. सिमिलरली आप यहाँ पे देखोगे ये एग्जाम्पल बात कर रहा है कि क्राइम रेट की और कॉम्प्लीमेंसी की ऑफ दी सोसाइटी की. तो अगर आपको कम करना है तो इसके लिए उन्होंने एक स्लोगन बनाया है, अलार्म तो बजने दो. ठीक है. तो एक एड है. इफ यू वांट यू कैन जस्ट गो ऑन यूट्यूब एंड यू कैन सर्च फॉर इट. यू विल गेट द एड एंड यू कैन हैव अ लुक एट इट दैट व्हाट वाज द एड अबाउट. तो ऐसे ही क्या हो रहा है जब ये कंपनीज इस तरह के एड्स टीवी पे दे रहे हैं तो ये क्या कर रहे हैं, जो हमारी सोशल प्रॉब्लम्स है उनको सॉल्व करने के लिए वो क्रिएटिविटी दिखा रहे हैं. ठीक है. तो हम ट्रेडिशनल अप्रोच फॉलो नहीं करते, इसके अंदर हम कुछ नया लेके आते हैं ताकि हम सोसाइटी में चेंज ला सकें. Then there is entrepreneurial quality. Look, it is very important for an entrepreneur to identify the qualities that separates him from other normal entrepreneurs. Okay, so basically you require that zeal within you. You should be really concerned for the society, and you should have the willingness to address them. Okay, so you are not going to stop till you achieve your purpose. So you need to have that quality within you. Only then you can be said to be a social entrepreneur. Fine. Then social impacts of idea and ethical fiber. So look, basically when the social entrepreneur is engaging in all these services, then look, I told you, look, he might or he might not expect profit in the social output. Okay, so if you are concerned with profit, then obviously you're not going behind the idea just because of profit, but just so that you get some bare minimum, or you might work totally for free. So that is just up to you. Fine. Okay, now what is this role of social entrepreneurship in our society? look, their role is basically that you are adopting a mission to create and sustain social value and not just private value. तो यहाँ पे हम ये कह रहे हैं कि हम social value create करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, society में change लाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, और ना कि अपनी private value, अपनी private wealth enhance करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. Then recognizing and relentlessly pursuing new opportunities to serve that mission. तो यहाँ पे हम क्या कर रहे हैं, नई अपॉर्चुनिटीज को रिकॉग्नाइज कर रहे हैं कि कहाँ पे चेंज रिक्वायर्ड है. जैसे आजकल हम लोग देख रहे हैं कि हर जगह समुद्र के आसपास इतना कचरा है, इतनी गंदगी है, ठीक है, पॉल्यूशन इतना ज्यादा है, प्लास्टिक, वी आर throwing so much of plastic, so how can we reduce that plastic? So people are coming up with new ideas, so you keep on identifying new areas whereby social change is required. Then engaging in a process of continuous innovation, adaptation and learning. Now look, this is a continuous process. एक बार आपका प्लास्टिक वाला इशू सॉल्व हो गया तो आप पॉल्यूशन वाले इशू पे आ जाओगे, पॉल्यूशन वाला सॉल्व हो गया, you might come to some other idea. Okay, so this is a continuous process. You will keep on working for the society. You will act boldly without being limited by resources currently in hand. ये तो बहुत important quality है social entrepreneurs की, that they never give up. चाहे resources है या नहीं है, they will definitely take their steps and they will try to create a change in the society. Okay, and exhibiting heightened accountability for the outcomes created. Okay, so obviously they take accountability also. तो जब बात आती है अकाउंटेबिलिटी लेने की कि किसने ये काम करवाया, so obviously they take the accountability, they take that name for them. Okay, that that they were the one who basically helped solve that problem. Okay, now it says we have these types of social entrepreneurs. We will just quickly go through them. Look, there are different types of social entrepreneurs when we talk about. First is the leveraged non-profit model. So, beta, as the name says over here, you are leveraging everything. Okay, but your aim is not to make profit. Then you have a hybrid non-profit structure. Okay, look, in a hybrid non-profit structure, basically what you are trying to do. Uh, जब गवर्नमेंट देखो किसी चीज को करने में फेल हो जाती है, ठीक है, और basically आपके मानो from one business you are getting many profits, okay, and you want to use those profits, let us say, to sustain some other non-profit ventures in order to address a society's problem, then it becomes a hybrid non-profit structure. Okay, then we have the social business venture. Under social business venture, you are basically designing a business to create change through social means. Okay, but इसके अंदर एक प्रॉब्लम होती है that यहाँ पे फंडिंग की प्रॉब्लम आती है, क्योंकि आपको कोई ऑलरेडी एस्टैब्लिश्ड बिजनेस नहीं होता या आपके पास पैसे नहीं होते ये काम करने के लिए. तो यहाँ पे आप लोन्स पे या फिर इक्विटी फाइनेंसिंग पे रिलाई करते हो ताकि लोग आपको आके पैसा दे सकें. ठीक है. Now the last one is philanthropist. Basically, philanthropy का मतलब क्या है? Basically philanthropy का मतलब ये है जब कोई बड़ी कंपनी ये सोचती है कि हमें जो है अपने कुछ portion of profits एक सोसाइटी की प्रॉब्लम को हेल्प करने के लिए देना चाहिए, तो then you become a philanthropic organization. Fine. Okay, now let us just quickly come to the difference between social entrepreneurship and commercial entrepreneurship. Look, for social entrepreneurship, we say that there is a social market failure and there is a need for public good. यहाँ पे क्या होता है, यहाँ पे सिर्फ प्रॉफिट कमाना है हमें अपॉर्चुनिटीज से. मिशन क्या है, यहाँ पे सोशल वैल्यू है, लोगों का फायदा करना है, यहाँ पे अपना फायदा करना है, प्राइवेट गेन करना है. रोज रिसोर्स मोबिलाइजेशन, जनरली चैरिटी के थ्रू, सब्सिडीज के थ्रू, यू ट्राई टू मोबिलाइज द रिसोर्सेज. यहाँ पे क्या होता है, यहाँ पे लोग आके खुद पैसे देते हैं प्रोडक्ट और सर्विस के लिए, एंड यू गेट you try to basically you are able to save for the resources and pay for the resources. परफॉर्मेंस मेजरमेंट, बेटा इसमें तो कोई एसेट्स कोई क्राइटेरिया है ही नहीं, बट यहाँ पे तो कमर्शियल एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप में तो बहुत सारा क्राइटेरिया है. आपका प्रॉफिट है, मार्केट शेयर है, कस्टमर सेटिस्फैक्शन है, तो बहुत सारे के सारे क्राइटेरियाज हैं. गवर्नमेंट सपोर्ट की अगर बात करूँ तो बेटा दोनों को गवर्नमेंट सपोर्ट मिलता है, बट अलग अलग तरीके से मिलता है। यहाँ पे सोशल एंटरप्रेन्योर्स को गवर्नमेंट से ग्रांट्स वगैरह मिलते हैं, इनको यहाँ पे हेल्प मिलती है अगर आप बैकवर्ड एरियाज में अपना कुछ सेटअप करते हो, अंडर प्रिविलेज सेक्शंस को नौकरियां देते हो, तो यू डू समथिंग लाइक दैट, देन इट हेल्प्स. Okay, advertisement you can go on your own. You can just have a look at your on your own. I am coming quickly to the next concept, that is international entrepreneurship. Okay, now look, basically international entrepreneurship is not there in your syllabus, but there is this one concept that how do you link entrepreneurship with the challenges of globalization. So basically when you are talking about linking entrepreneurship with challenges of globalization, so in a way you're talking about international entrepreneurship. Okay, that अगर देखो पहले तो हमें ये पढ़ना है कि globalization का मतलब क्या होता है. Because globalization, as you are all in third year, you must have already studied this in first year, that globalization means that you are opening your national boundaries to all the people who are outside your country. ठीक है. तो जैसे तुमने सुना होगा कि 1980s के टाइम पे इंडिया एक क्लोज्ड इकोनॉमी होती थी, तो हम लोग कहते थे कि जो भी प्रोडक्ट आएगा वो इंडिया से ही आएगा. हम बाहर की कंपनीज को यहाँ इंडिया में अलाउ नहीं करते थे, और इंडियंस को भी जनरली अलाउ नहीं करते थे बाहर जाके सेल करने के लिए. ठीक है. फिर आपने सुना होगा कि 1990s के अंदर हमारे जो उस टाइम के पीएम थे मनमोहन सिंह जी, उन्होंने एक बहुत बड़ा वो एलपीजी के रिफॉर्म्स लेके आए, जिसके अंदर हमने ग्लोबलाइजेशन किया. ठीक है. तो हमने हमारी पूरी की पूरी इकोनॉमी, कुछ सेक्टर्स हमने रिजर्व किए थे, उसके अलावा बाकी सारा का सारा हमने प्राइवेटाइज कर दिया था. ठीक है. एंड वी ओपन ourselves टू इंटरनेशनल कंपटीशन. सो इंटरनेशनल कंपनीज, दे वर फ्री टू कम एंड सेट अप their firms in India, to send their employees to India. Similarly, we were free to go and set up our businesses abroad. ठीक है. लेन देन गुड्स का, रिसोर्सेज का बिल्कुल इजीली अलाउड हो गया था. जितने भी टेक्निकलिटीज और कॉम्प्लेक्सिटीज थी वो सब हटा दी गई थी. तो ग्लोबलाइजेशन का यही है. ठीक है. Now look, once you talk about you decide of going international. Okay, so globalization creates some problems for entrepreneurs. Okay, like if I talk generally, देखो अगर globalization है, तो entrepreneurs will obviously face a problem. Why? Because you need to have a product or service which is really superior to the foreign markets products. ओके. एक तो ये चीज होती है. दूसरी चीज ये होती है कि बेटा बहुत बार जो एंटरप्रेन्योर्स हैं, लोग दे ऑपरेट ऑन अ स्मॉल स्केल. ओके. एंड व्हेन यू टॉक अबाउट दीज फॉरेन फर्म्स, दीज आर जनरली बिग एंटरप्राइजेस विद अ लॉट ऑफ मनी. So it might happen that they might either crush you, or they might take you over. So these type of certain problems are there. But let us not get too much into detail, because I think that is something you have already done. Okay, let us talk about international entrepreneurship. Now, look, when you decide of taking your entrepreneurial venture across the national boundary, that is across India, okay, then you are said to be indulging in international entrepreneurship. अभी आप कैसे कर सकते हो? आप एक्सपोर्ट कर सकते हो, आप अपने गुड्स को लाइसेंस कर सकते हो, दूसरी कंट्री में जाके अपना ऑफिस खोल सकते हो. ठीक है. तो आप कैसे भी कर सकते हो, दैट इज अप टू यू. फाइन. Now, why is international entrepreneurship important? Look, international entrepreneurship is important, especially if you are aiming for a big market share. Okay, you want more sales, and you somehow feel that your domestic market is not responding well to your products, then you might think of going internationally. Okay, जैसे अगर मैं इंडिया में बात करूँ, that there is this new trend of vegan foods. People turn vegan, and they say that we will now have almond milk, we will now have soy milk. बट इंडिया में कितने लोग ऐसे होंगे ना, बहुत कम, गिने चुने मेट्रोपॉलिटन सिटीज के अंदर. Now let us say if you are a firm, you have invested crores of rupees in developing this almond milk and soy milk. So the market can be limited in India, but if you go international, there is a very big market for it. There is a huge market for it. Okay, so obviously it makes sense moving international. Fine. Then entrepreneur can sell their products in the foreign market, which have reached their maturity stage of life cycle in the domestic markets, and earn profit. अब बेटा ये तो जनरली आप देखोगे, ये एप्पल तो ये हमेशा ही करता है इंडिया के साथ. ठीक है. जैसे ही एप्पल का एप्पल 6, 7 इंडिया में अभी तक अवेलेबल है, बट अब्रॉड आप जाओगे तो वो बोलेंगे ये तो बेकार हो गए, 11 से नीचे तो अब कोई कुछ है ही नहीं. ओके, so they are going to talk like that. So one thing is that sometimes what entrepreneurs do, उनको लगता है जो पुराने प्रोडक्ट्स हो गए हैं, चलो अब इनको कहाँ बेचेंगे, तो इनको किसी और कंट्री में जाके बेच लेते हैं. So that is one aspect. Then look, obviously like I told you, when you decide of getting global, तो आपका जो मार्केट शेयर है वो बढ़ रहा है, आपकी जो सेल्स है वो बढ़ रही है. तो जब आपकी सेल्स बढ़ रही है तो अल्टीमेटली हो क्या रहा है, जो आपकी फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट है वो ज्यादा यूनिट्स पे स्प्रेड हो जाती है. ठीक है, तो आपका जो प्रॉफिट है वो ऑटोमेटिकली इंक्रीज हो जाएगा. ठीक है, when you decide to go international, obviously it adds to your goodwill and to your reputation. Okay, then basically when you decide to go international, okay, तो आपकी जो क्वालिटी है वो भी improve हो जाती है, because you have to really adhere yourself to as per the foreign standards. Okay, and foreign के अंदर अगर आप अच्छी countries में जा रहे हो तो वहाँ पे उनके standards बहुत high है, especially with regard to quality. Okay, so it might happen that you might start producing better quality products. Okay, then obviously it also teaches them how to do customer relationship management, and uh, basically look, there is this one problem also when you decide to go international, that you might face cultural barriers. Okay, because you are not aware about the host country मतलब जिस country में आप जाके business करना जा रहे हो, आपको उसके बारे में हो सकता है बहुत लिमिटेड नॉलेज हो, क्या लैंग्वेज यूज होती है, क्या एजुकेशन है, क्या ट्रेडिशंस हैं, क्या उनका वैल्यू सिस्टम है, क्या उनका बिलीफ सिस्टम है, आपको कुछ नहीं पता, उनका माइंडसेट नहीं पता, प्रेफरेंसेस नहीं पता. तो बहुत बार ना इंटरनेशनल एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप में जब आप जाते हो तो इट माइट क्रिएट सम प्रॉब्लम्स फॉर यू. फाइन. So ठीक है, but whatever is there, you have to overcome it anyhow. Fine. तो एक वो बैरियर जो है वो हमेशा रहता है whenever you decide to go international. Fine. Now it is talking about the difference between international entrepreneurship versus entrepreneurship. So let us just quickly read it out. So yeah, so it says domestic entrepreneurship decisions are not complex, okay, but international entrepreneurship decisions, they are generally more complex. So like I told you, domestic के अंदर आपको पता है कि मार्केट कैसी है, कस्टमर्स कैसे रिएक्ट करेंगे, रिसोर्सेज कहाँ से मिलेंगी, तो यहाँ पे डिसीजन लेना इजी है. बट जब हम इंटरनेशनली अपने आप को लेके जा रहे हैं, अपने गुड्स अपनी कंपनी को लेके जा रहे हैं, तो वहाँ पे जो डिसीजन मेकिंग है वो कॉम्प्लेक्स हो जाता है, बिकॉज इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड एंड टू फोकस दैट हाउ विल पीपल रिएक्ट. फाइन. So second is that when you create a business strategy for multiple companies, that means you have to deal with different types of economic development, different types of political institutions, okay, different types of distribution systems, which is not the case in domestic entrepreneurship. ठीक है, तो डोमेस्टिक ऑन्टरप्रनोरशिप में अगर एक तरह से कहें तो सरदर्दी कम है. क्यों? क्योंकि और किसी के साथ डील नहीं करना. ठीक है, इंडिया में है, इंडिया में हमें पता है लोग कैसे होते हैं, सो इट इज वेरी इजी टू डू बिजनेस. बट वंस यू डिसाइड टू गो अब्रॉड, यू हैव टू थिंक अबाउट अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग. ओके, बस वहां पे जाके ऑफिस एस्टैब्लिश करके थोड़े ना हो जाएगा. यू हैव टू सी फ्रॉम वेयर विल यू गेट द एम्प्लॉइज, व्हाट आर द रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस गोइंग ऑन ओवर देयर, व्हाट टाइप ऑफ स्ट्रैटेजी विल यू फॉलो, who are your competitors, how are you going to deal with that competition. Okay, if you are deciding to send products from India to abroad, how will you send it, how will you distribute them, and all those kind of things are there. फाइन. आप ऑब्वियस सी बात है, देखो अगर आप इंटरनेशनल एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप कर रहे हो तो आप इंडिया के लिए एक्सपोर्ट अर्निंग्स लेके आओगे, बीओपी को फेवरेबली इम्प्लीमेंट करोगे, जबकि डोमेस्टिक एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के अंदर ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. ठीक है, इसके अंदर एक और चीज़ है, अगर फ्लक्चुएशंस इन करेंसी होती है, मतलब अगर डॉलर मानो आज रुपी के वाया महंगा हो गया या सस्ता हो गया, तो आपके बिजनेस पे बहुत इम्पैक्ट आ सकता है, बट डोमेस्टिक एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप में इसका कोई इम्पैक्ट नहीं होता. ठीक है, let us skip this point, the types of system, because I don't think that this is a little hard for your level, so just skip this point, come to the next point directly. That is widely variable rate of return, non-convertibility of currency, difference in accounting system, difference in communication, multiple political and legal environment create business problems. डोमेस्टिक ऑन्टरप्रेन्योर को ऐसी कोई प्रॉब्लम फेस नहीं करनी पड़ती. बेटा आप देखो, ऑब्वियस सी बात है, लेट अस से यू डिसाइड टू गो टू चाइना. ओके, अगर आप चाइना में जाओगे तो सबसे पहला बैरियर जो आता है वो लैंग्वेज का आता है, वो तो चाइनीज बोलते हैं, आप इंग्लिश बोलते हो, समझ में ही नहीं आएगा। ठीक है, सिमिलरली इफ यू टॉक अबाउट द पॉलिटिकल आइडियोलॉजी एंड द लीगल एनवायरनमेंट, इट इज एब्सोल्युटली डिफरेंट। इंडिया में तो आपको लगता है कि चलता है, एटीट्यूड है, ओके, यू कैन डू एनीथिंग, यू कैन पे मनी एंड यू कैन गेट अवे विद इट, बट नो, if you go to China, their laws and regulations are very strict. You have to operate as per the government. If the government tells you leave the land and go 10 kilometers ahead, you will have to do that. You can't argue with the government, okay? तो इस तरह की चीजें, अकाउंटिंग सिस्टम सबका अलग अलग होता है, ठीक है। इंडिया के अंदर तो यहाँ सीए चलता है, हम टैली के ऊपर सब काम करते हैं, हमारा एक अलग अकाउंटिंग सिस्टम है। बट इफ यू गो ओवर देयर, देन यू नो दे माइट हैव अ डिफरेंट अकाउंटिंग सिस्टम। So these are some of the problems that an international entrepreneur has to face, but a domestic entrepreneur obviously does not have to face. Fine. Then the second point talks about the legal system. Obviously जो legal system इंडिया का है, और मान लो अगर आप दुबई जा रहे हो तो दोनों का अलग अलग है। इंडिया में अगर कोई चोरी करता है तो ज्यादा से ज्यादा क्या करेंगे, उसको पुलिस ले जाएंगे, जेल में बंद कर देंगे, थोड़ी देर के लिए छोड़ देंगे, यही होगा ना। अगर आप दुबई में चोरी करते हुए पकड़ जाओगे बेटा, वो आपके हाथ काट देंगे वहीं के वहीं, ठीक है। तो ऑब्वियस सी बात है दैट द लीगल एनवायरनमेंट इज वेरी डिफरेंट इन डिफरेंट कंट्रीज, सो यू हैव टू सी दैट how are you going to deal with that legal environment. इसका तो बेस्ट एग्जांपल है आपका, अभी जो हम मॉडर्ना और फाइजर की वैक्सीन लाने की बात कर रहे हैं इंडिया में, सो यू विल सी दैट why isn't it being brought in India, because they want that legal indemnity, that if somebody takes the vaccine and dies, so you will not sue these companies. Now India is not ready to give that legal indemnity to them, but yeah, most of the other countries have given it to them, and it is they are importing the vaccines. So obviously, in the international environment, the legal scenario will be different for different countries. So you have to adjust with it. But culturally, I have already discussed culturally. So already there is a lot of difference. And the last is just talking about is you need to basically the work the employees that you are hiring. बेसिकली आपको मल्टीलिंगुअल एम्प्लॉयज हायर करने पड़ेंगे। कैसे एम्प्लॉयज हायर करने पड़ेंगे, जो फॉरेन मार्केट को भी समझे, आपके आइडियोलॉजी को भी समझे, मोटिवेटेड हो काम करने के लिए, ग्लोबल पर्सपेक्टिव हो उनके दिमाग में। such employees are a little difficult to find, so again that is a problem. Now let us just quickly come to what are the challenges or difficulties of international entrepreneurship. First is the attitude of entrepreneur. Look, if the entrepreneur is negative minded, then he can't set up a business in the foreign country. If you think that it is very difficult, I can't handle the legal system, I can't handle the linguistics, then you can't be an international entrepreneur. The second challenge is lack of information. Okay, so as if you're not aware about the rules and regulations, or about the market conditions of the foreign country, about the taste and preferences of the other country, then it is very difficult to go for international entrepreneurship. Fine. You need to be you need to have a thorough market study before entering into the international market. Then lack of network influences. Now look, whenever you're deciding to go international, you need to have a lot of networking. Okay, networking in the sense that you need to have first of all permissions to operate the business in that country. Then you need to be aware about the laws and regulations. You need to search from where will you get suppliers, from where will you get employees. So all these things, they really make it difficult for you to operate in the international environment. देन देर इज फाइनेंसिंग प्रॉब्लम। फाइनेंस तो है ही, अगर आप इंटरनेशनल जा रहे हो तो बहुत पैसा चाहिए, रिस्क भी उतना ही ज्यादा बढ़ जाता है। तो फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशंस आपको पैसा देने को तैयार होंगे या नहीं होंगे, नोबडी नोज। देन देर आर टैरिफ बैरियर्स। बेटा टैरिफ बैरियर्स क्या होते हैं, बहुत बार जो इंटरनेशनल गवर्नमेंट्स है या हमारी गवर्नमेंट है, वो टैरिफ बैरियर्स लगा देती है इम्पोर्टेड गुड्स के ऊपर, ठीक है। तो जैसे पीछे कुछ एक बैरियर आया था जहाँ पे ये बोला गया था कि अगर आप चाइना से कोई भी प्लास्टिक का कुछ इम्पोर्ट कर रहे हो तो आपको 200% इम्पोर्ट ड्यूटी पे करनी पड़ेगी। तो बेटा ये क्या है, ये टैरिफ बैरियर है, ठीक है। आपने क्या करा, आप डीमोटिवेट कर रहे हो चाइना से लोगों को प्लास्टिक लाने के लिए। क्यों? क्योंकि अगर वो लेके आएंगे, मानो कोई चीज 10 रुपए की है तो आपने उसकी कॉस्टिंग 30 रुपीज कर दी, क्योंकि आपने उसके ऊपर 200% इम्पोर्ट ड्यूटी लगा दी है, ठीक है। तो इस तरह के जो नॉन टैरिफ बैरियर्स होते हैं, या फिर बहुत बार कई कंट्रीज अपने आप ही बोलती है कि you know that they say that we will not allow import of these items within our country, so they impose heavy penalties on them, और sometimes they come up with these rules कि अगर प्रोडक्ट जाएगा तो प्रोडक्ट को हम काटेंगे पहले पूरा का पूरा and then it will go. Okay, so they create these type of complexities. So you have to deal with them. Fine, then you have to deal with the technical barriers as well. तो टेक्निकल बैरियर्स का मतलब हो गया कि कंट्री के जो पॉलिसी रिलेटिंग टू गुड्स है, बेसिकली अगेन जो टैरिफ बैरियर्स की हम बात कर रहे हैं, तो फॉर एग्जांपल इफ आई टेल यू दैट आई एम समवन हु मेक्स वुडन प्रोडक्ट्स, okay, and I want to export those wooden products to Australia, तो बेटा I can't do that because Australia has this rule that इंडिया से वो लोग कोई भी वुडन प्रोडक्ट्स नहीं मंगवाते हैं. द रीजन भी उनको लगता है कि इंडिया में ना टर्माइट्स बहुत ज्यादा है और खराब क्वालिटी की वुड मिलती है, तो इट इज एब्सोल्युटली बैंड. यू कांट गेट दीज गुड्स इन इंडिया. Okay, the last one that we have is political barrier. Now look, political barrier is obviously that अगर आप ये सोचते हो आज की डेट में कि हम अफगानिस्तान में जाके बिजनेस कर ले या हम सर्बिया में जाके बिजनेस करें, ईरान इराक में जाके बिजनेस करें, so obviously you have, this is a major concern for business because these countries are not politically stable. So political stability has to come. Just one second. Yeah, and the last point is human resources. So we say that whenever you're going into the international market, so you need to be aware about their basically about their unions. Okay, तो क्या वहाँ पे लेबर यूनियंस कितनी स्ट्रॉन्ग है, फॉरेन कंट्री उनको कितना सपोर्ट करता है इन सब एक्टिविटीज में. Okay, that should be very very clear. Okay, apart from that, I want to share one more thing with you people. Just give me a minute. Yeah, I hope the screen is visible to all of you. Okay, so we will just quickly read this out as well. So look, the question over here is that does globalization impact entrepreneurship? So look, definitely globalization has an impact in entrepreneurship. Why? Because look, the technological advances that we are making, okay, the rate at which the institutions are failing, the way the economies are now being liberated from all rules and regulations, okay, the kind of demographic shifts that we are experiencing, demographic shifts in the sense that you are seeing that a lot of like if you talk about India, you will see that a lot of people are there. We possess a young population, okay, but if you see Japan today, Japan has a population which is comprised more of older people. So there is a lot of demographic shifts happening across the globe, and so this basically calls for more social consciousness, okay, and it argues that basically globalization जो है, it has shifted us from an industrial to an entrepreneur model of production. Okay, so basically we are saying that globalization जो है, it has come as a shock to the unskilled labor of the world economy. तो जो लेबर अनस्किल्ड है ना, उन लोगों के लिए ग्लोबलाइजेशन जो है वो कह रहे हैं वो बहुत अच्छा नहीं रहा है. ओके, इट इज बेसिकली अ शॉक फॉर देम because when these big companies they come over here with their technological superiority and everything, then it creates a very big problem for the unskilled labor over here. Okay, then obviously it brings a lot of FDI also along with it. Okay, now FDI कैसे आता है जाता है, we all know that sometimes there is a continuous inflow of FDI. Sometimes there is suddenly a withdrawal of FDI from the market. तो स्टॉक मार्केट में जो है बहुत ज्यादा उतार चढ़ाव आता है, रिस्क जो है वो बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ जाता है. ओके, और टेक्नोलॉजी की तो आप बात ही मत करो, क्योंकि ग्लोबलाइजेशन एक बार आपने सोचा तो टेक्नोलॉजी तो ऑब्वियसली ऑल द वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज दे आर ऑल टेक्नोलॉजिकली सुपीरियर टू अस. ओके, so basically we say that when we talk about these entrepreneurship firms, like I told you earlier also, they have to compete with these large companies, and when they have to compete with these large companies, these small companies are basically at a disadvantaged position. Okay, That is there, but again, there is this one good point about it, that whenever you allow globalization to happen, then consumers, they get better quality products at better prices. So that is obviously also there. Fine. And obviously it forces these small companies to become more competent, okay, with regard to everything that they are doing. So they become more conscious, and more they try to be basically वो ज्यादा सावधान होके अपना काम करने की कोशिश करते हैं. Fine. So I think that would be it for today. I will like to end the class. Thank you. Okay, just let me share the resource. Okay, some people were asking me about the book. Look, I am using a combination of books. You can either buy Abha Mathur, or you can buy this Dr. Vinita Jain. Okay, so it is up to you, whichever book you want to buy. I am basically using both of them. Uh, just give me one. Okay, the chat is not working. I will try to post it later on. Fine. If you have any questions, you can ask them. Okay, fine. Thank you, all of you. Bye.